Guys, welcome on into Three Bold Takes. With September football finally done, we wanted to go ahead going into October and give you guys our predictions for our choice to win the Heisman Trophy at the end of the year. We've seen some great play across the board throughout the country. And Chase, I'm curious, who are you rocking with right now as your Heisman Trophy pick for this season?
I was hoping I would get to hear other choices first. But, guys, I've been looking at some Heisman things throughout the year, and a lot like a year before Travis Hunter won, it was kind of like there wasn't a whole lot of like, hey, this guy, there's a statement guy. This guy's going to win. Early on, I thought it might be Tommy Castellanos, and then he's done well, but he hasn't done. He lost that game against UVA. And I'm smelling something, guys. I'm smelling maybe like a 2010 RG3 type Heisman season. And I think if you can manage a 9-3, 10-3 record with a decent bowl win at Vanderbilt, maybe
Shut up.
deserve. I'm talking. You're sitting at 5-0. Diego Pavia has the team at 5-0. He just went 25 of 32 in their most previous game, put up 50 plus points for the first time since 1915 in back-to-back games at Vandy. Since 1950, he's got Vandy doing things offensively they have not done in over a century. This team is 5-0. This is, I think, believing because they're going to go to Alabama this weekend. That's when we're recording this. This will be the first ranked matchup, I believe, between the two since like 1935.
1937. Yep.
1937. That is what Diego Pavia has brought national attention to the Commodores. And I believe he's not just doing it and he's like this swag guy on social media. He's got respectable stats too. 13 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He had over a 70% completion rate in that last game. They already beat South Carolina, a notable team in the SEC in week 3 of the season, not like week 6, week 7. That was week 3. They had a really tough matchup right away, and they put 30 on South Carolina's head in Williams-Brice Stadium. And then you also had at Virginia Tech where you pulled out that game. I think Diego Pavia, so far, I'm not thinking that they're going to go 12-0 at all. I'm not thinking that they're going to go 11-1. But I think if you play a lot of these games really close, but also you end with a 10-2, 9-3 record of the regular season, and then you have a really good bowl win, I don't see another guy so far that I'm like, hey, this is the Heisman front runner like Travis Hunter last year, Ashton Genty. It's a lot up in the air. And with Diego Pavia, do you have an RG3 type season where, hey, look what he just did at Vandy and where he has them nationally? Is this not a guy that we should consider for the Heisman? I think Diego Pavia should have it up and through so far throughout the season, 5-0 for Vandy again, doing things offensively that we have never seen in our modern era of the Vanderbilt Commodores.
That's bold. That's bold for sure.
I was gonna say, Quinn, I want you to rebuttal that because I have a
Yeah,
feeling you have something to say.
what I'll say is, if he goes 10-2, they're definitely not going to be in a bowl game. They're going to be in
Oh, it's still a
playoff. Um, but yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I'm not fully sold on Vandy yet. I know they have that big blowout win over South Carolina. It does come with the caveat of 3 turnovers on their own side of the field by a backup quarterback for South Carolina. So I want to see them with their road tests against LSU, Texas, and Alabama before I'm ready to jump on the Diego Pavia train. Freddie, how about yourself? Who you got as your Heisman front runner right now?
Yeah, Chase, that's interesting for Diego Pavia. Yes, he's a very good quarterback, but no, he's not going to win the Heisman. First of all, that requires them to go 10-2, and that's not happening. But that's neither here nor there. I'm just taking kind of a gander at the current odds as of today, the 28th, and I just want to say, boy, they've shifted since preseason. I just want to give a call out to some of the guys that's definitely not winning the Heisman. We talked about this before we started recording. Arch Manning, definitely not winning the Heisman. Lenore Sellers, definitely not winning the Heisman. Cade Klubnik, definitely not winning the Heisman. Just to name a few there. I'm gonna go. This is kind of a toss up for me because there's three quarterbacks right now that all have very similar stats whenever it comes to the year in yards per game, touchdowns per game, efficiency, completion percentage, all that. Those three are Dante Moore, Carson Beck, and Ty Simpson. All three of those are top 10 in just about every category that you look at. Um, Two of the three in Dante and Ty Simpson have over a 75% completion percentage on the year, which is unreal. I mean, that's leading the country. That's top three in the country. Um, but what I look at is of those, who has the opportunity to impress me more over the course of the coming year, schedule wise? Because we all know that when you talk about the Heisman, you have to have a Heisman moment, right? And normally Heisman moments don't come against scrub ACC teams. So I love Carson Beck, and I said he was going to be phenomenal at Miami this year, and so far he is. Miami's ranked number 3 in the country, all that. But I don't think he wins the Heisman. So then it becomes Dante Moore or Ty Simpson for me. If you look at Alabama, 6 of their next 7 games are against ranked opponents. Those are 6 great opportunities to put up some good numbers. Kalen DeBoer's offense with Ryan Grubb allows a quarterback to do that. But when you look at Oregon, heck, they're putting up 70 points, I mean, and scoring so much, and it's such efficiency that it's hard not to take them seriously. However, I'm going to give my boy Ty Simpson some love here. I think at the end of the year, I think he keeps up this run as far as efficiency goes and completion percentage. He's averaging 290 yards a game passing. That's very good. 0 interceptions on the year. I don't know if he per se keeps that up. I mean, if you don't throw an interception all year long and you're the starter on a team like Alabama, you're probably going to win the Heisman. I mean, that's all I'm going to say about that. But I like Ty Simpson and what he's able to bring to the table. I like his legs, his arm. He's very accurate. And they have the schedule that's going to give him even more national recognition throughout the rest of the year. If he keeps up these numbers, I don't see a world where anybody else can compete with that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna actually step in and disagree with the Ty Simpson take for the very reason that you gave it to Ty Simpson. I think playing 6 or 7 ranked opponents, he's inevitably gonna have 2 lackluster games, 2 or 3. Even if he plays really, really good, he's gonna have a couple struggle games, especially against some of these better defenses he's gonna play, like Auburn, Oklahoma, LSU. Um, for me, my choice I'm about to say Cam Ward, Carson Beck at Miami. And my
I
reason
like it.
is I don't think Miami's going to lose a single game this season. I don't.
That
They're
makes Chase
going.
mad.
I'm sorry, Chad. Who do you have them losing to, Chase?
I don't know, but with all ACC teams, there's just inevitably they're gonna fall to a freaking Syracuse or Wake Forest or Boston College. That's just how it works out.
We'll see. This Miami team to me looks like super, super legit.
It,
It gives me a vibe of a team that's going to easily stroll to the ACC title game. They're going to play a pretty scrappy, good Georgia Tech team, and then beat Georgia Tech and go to the playoff as a top 2 seed, and then lose somewhere in the playoff. Like that's what's going to happen to Miami. But none of that's relevant to winning the Heisman. I think Carson Beck wins the Heisman strictly off of name recognition and the storyline of bringing the U back. You have a 13-0 season with Miami, and if you play extremely good football for that whole 13 games, you're winning the Heisman Trophy. Especially in a year where there's nobody who's just like a super strong candidate. So I'm riding with Carson Beck right now out of everybody that's on there. Even though I really wanted to get on here and pick Fernando Mendoza, I don't have the nuts to do that. So I'm not about that whatsoever.
but and you know I'll throw this in there to kind of talk about that one. Um, like Freddie was mentioning, I think there's a lot of Heisman's as well. You have that statement piece, that statement game, and there is just not really an opportunity for Carson Beck. You now again, you go 12-0, and then we're talking, and you have above average stats and stuff. There's a very good chance, but his one chance is probably this upcoming weekend at Florida State. Um, so I don't know. Like there's just after that, it's just Louisville. You got Stanford. I mean, if he puts up 300 yards against Stanford, who gives a crap? You know who gives a rat's butt? So
I guess what I'm saying is if you go down to Tallahassee and play an extremely great game against Florida State and beat them, and then at the end of the year, we're trying to figure out who wins the Heisman between you and a guy who went to Florida State and didn't win. No fault of his own. I would argue that was the offensive line in that game for Alabama that cost them that offensively. That would be the quote unquote Heisman moment. They would compare how both of you did on the road in Tallahassee with the added fact that Miami is a rival. Alabama's just a non-con game.
and I want to show some love to a couple other guys. One really quick is CJ Carr out of Notre Dame. I know they started a little slow, but he can absolutely sling it. And then one of my favorite ones, and I think he's going to end up getting kind of booted from it, but Mateer to Oklahoma before he had that injury where he's going to be sidelined for 3 to 4 weeks. I thought he might have been the clear cut guy eventually, but that injury is probably going to take him out of that running.
But yeah, no, guys, let us know down in the comments who your choice is for the Heisman Trophy. Obviously, we still got another 2 months of play. Heisman sometimes don't even appear until November. So we'll keep our eyes peeled on college football this season. Keep watching for who our Heisman pick is. And we want to know yours down in the comment section below. That being said, I'm Quinn. I've been joined by Freddie and Chase. We're three bold takes, and we're going to get on out of here.